Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, December 15th, 2025, and you are looking live at Tim Coger, the host of It's New Every Morning. Hope you guys are doing great this morning. For all of you morning warriors that are actually here with me this morning, good morning. It is cold outside in central West Virginia. 13 degrees, I think, right at the moment. That's your only weather you're going to get, except there is snow on the ground. Snow on the ground and 13 degrees here in central West Virginia. But it's going to be a beautiful day. The sun's going to shine. The birds are going to sing. I got some food out for my birds locally here so they can have something to eat. So anyway, good morning, everyone. Let's have a great day. I got some great stories for you today. But before I get started, we'll talk a little bit about a couple issues. Good morning, Bob, or Patricia, but I'm guessing Bob. Good morning, Donna. Nice to have you guys along. Before I forget, before I get started, I will not be doing a Facebook Live tomorrow morning. I know you're disappointed. I'm disappointed too. I have an extremely long day tomorrow. I'll be traveling out of state, working my way back here to central West Virginia. I have to leave really early. The only way I could do it would be while I'm driving, and as we probably know, that wouldn't be safe because I'll be leaving way before 7:30 in the morning, probably about 6. So none tomorrow, but I'll be back Wednesday morning, live at 7:30, and I'll have lots of great information for you then. Christmas continues to get closer, so I got some Christmas stories, Hanukkah story for you today, just some basic information about the world we live in. So it is Monday. This is the last full week before Christmas. So all of you that are still shopping, this is the week. This is the week. Next week will be pretty crazy. Things will be picked through. If you want to shop some more, this is it. Now, of course, also, if you're shopping online, you need to get stuff in. A lot of sites say they will only guarantee it by Christmas if ordered by December 15th. Guess what? That's today. So if you're going to order online, yeah, today might be the day. But anyway, so there's a lot of real news going on with some sad shootings and things going on. I'm not going to talk about that. If you want to hear all the negative stuff and all the people that's been killed and stuff, and it's tragic, and I'm not trying to minimize it. I'm just saying that's not what I do here. You can pick up that news anywhere, and you can pick up some of the things that I have anywhere, and some of the things that I have you can pick up nowhere but here probably. So anyway, let's get started. We're going to do a little information here. Let's start with talking about some trees, in particular Christmas trees. Now, Christmas trees are a big business. It's about $6 billion globally. You know, I guess you do know, even though you may live in the United States, like most people watching this, they have Christmas trees all over the world. So it is a $6 billion business. In the United States, the real tree business is valued at about $2 billion. Now, that's about approximately 30 million trees this year, real ones. That's a lot of trees. Now, the average profit on a tree is about $10 a tree. And of course, it takes, 7, 8, 9 years for them to mature. So it's an investment to start those trees, but at $10 a tree, you can make some money because you can put a bunch of trees on an acre of ground. So it is a big industry, and it's an industry that they only make money, once a year because we don't have any Christmas in July trees, as far as I know. And I'm not trying to start something, okay? So you can be careful with that, all right? Now, artificial trees are also, really popular. Most of them are made in China, I'm guessing, and that industry is about $1 billion as of 2020. That's the newest statistics I could find. So that's Christmas tree. What's next? Hanukkah. Now, most everybody on here has heard of Hanukkah, and you may know some about Hanukkah and what it is and how it works. I knew some about it, but I have some historical data. So when you hear the word Hanukkah, the rest of this season, you'll understand it. And I think we're in Hanukkah right now, actually. It's a Jewish holiday with ancient tradition, of course. It is about the rededication of the Temple of Jerusalem in 164 BC. Okay? Now, its central symbol is a menorah, a candlelit menorah. And it represents the miracle that took place when the rededication was going on, where they burned a lamp, and the oil in the lamp was for one day, but it burned for 8 nights instead of one night. And they considered that a miracle. Sounds like a miracle to me. And that's what they use the process. That's what the thing is for. Good morning, Deborah. So each night they would light the menorah and recite a blessing and add an additional candle every night, lit candle. And that's what they do through Hanukkah. And while the traditions have changed a little bit over the years, they would give their children presents. That's been a part of Hanukkah forever. But the tradition in America, Jews, is similar to the Christmas stuff. It kind of changed a little bit over multiple years. In America, the children receive small gifts each night, but they get their grand finale gift on the final evening. So pretty neat tradition, Hanukkah. That's kind of the basics of how it works. My next story is interesting. Motocross is the deadliest organized sport for U.S. kids. At least 158 participants have, under the age of 20, have been killed in dirt bike rides since 2000. That's averaging about 6 a year. Good morning, Janet. Nice to have you along. That's averaging about 6 a year. And that's 7 times the death rate of tackle football. So you may have thought, well, tackle football may look more dangerous and more physical and stuff. Obviously, motocross has more children deaths by far. 7 times the rate of tackle football. Now, many in the sport believe that one of the reasons there are so many people that die is that they do a lot of races with mixed ages. In other words, it's not really about your age so much as the bike you're riding and things like that. And so you'll have people that are 20 competing against people that are 14 or 15 or that kind of thing. Some of the people believe that's the biggest problem. Another thing is there seems to be, another problem that they feel. Now, these are people in the sport. Feel that there's not enough warning signs during crashes. In other words, if there's a crash and there's no warning sign, then the bikers coming along are going to run into that crash. My goodness, Chris Koger is watching. Hi, honey. So, it sounds like there's an opportunity in motocross to improve the safety mechanisms. And, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it's something they may want to look at with all the deaths are alarming considering all the different sports that are out there. Now, I'm kind of winding down, but let me ask you a question. Is it possible to lose Christ in Christmas? I mean, I'm thinking most people are shaking their head yes or saying, yeah, it's all, as we celebrate Christ's birth, it is possible to forget him. Now, sometimes people, good morning, Tom. Sometimes people who, you would consider least likely to lose Jesus has lost Jesus or lost God in perspective. Some of God's biggest servants have somewhere lost fellowship with him over the process. I mean, we can think of David, certainly lost that fellowship with God, Moses, Samson, but even people like Peter, with Jesus, that he kind of lost his way, as we know. So it really doesn't matter if you're a Christian. You can still stray away. I don't read scripture very often, but I'm going to read a little bit today. 1 Corinthians 10:12 says, therefore, let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. Now, in the New Living Version, it says it like this. If you think you are standing strong, be careful not to fall. So a lot of times you think that everything is going long. You're celebrating Christmas, and you're going to church, you're singing Christmas carols, you're going through all the motions of Christmas, but you're still not really, you're kind of distant maybe from him. Just because you're celebrating Christmas doesn't mean you're necessarily celebrating Christ. Does that make sense? We have parties and gifts and family time, and all that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't focus on those things and forget the real reason for the holiday season. That's my advice to you. Don't allow the celebration of Christmas take away from the Christ of Christmas. It's very easy to lose Jesus. After all, Mary and Joseph lost Jesus. You remember? In the middle of religious ceremony at a temple, they just lost him. Now, why did they lose Jesus? Does anybody remember the story? The reason they lost him is because they just presumed that he was with them. And much like us, we go through all the Christmas moving and all the Christmas shaking, and we just presume that he's right there with us. So don't get caught doing that. Don't get caught doing that. Yes. Keep Jesus in it. So just because you're involved in the religious ceremonies and celebration doesn't mean that you're personally close to Jesus. So be careful not to become cold and indifferent to Christ in the middle of the Christmas hype. And it's really easy to do because there are so many things going on. There are so many things going on this time of year. All kinds of stuff. And it's all fun and it's all great. But also you can kind of get down a little bit in this season because it can get so frustrating. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Trenton. Nice to have you guys along. It's so easy to get all caught up, and it's such a busy season for so many people, buying these presents and buying these things, going to these parties and doing this and doing that, and it's just so easy to get so tied up in what's going on, and all those things are fine, but sometimes you got to slow down. Sometimes you just got to slow down. I'm going to read part of Psalms 139. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to read the beginning of it. And it says, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me. So today, let God test you. Or better yet, look to God and say, I don't want to lose you in this season. I want to have you in this season. I want to enjoy the season, but also enjoy you in the season. So I would suggest take inventory of your life. Don't lose Christ this Christmas, all right? Because, just remember why we're celebrating. But go ahead and celebrate. Celebrate with your friends. Celebrate with your family. Celebrate the joy of buying presents and getting presents. Enjoy all the great food. Enjoy it all. But just don't lose sight of Christ while you're celebrating, all right? Well, with that, I'm going to wind up today. Remember, I will not be here tomorrow morning at 7:30. I just got such a huge, long day. Like I said earlier, I would have to do it while traveling or do it at 4 o'clock in the morning, and neither one of those things makes sense to me. So I'm going to skip tomorrow, but I'll be back Wednesday morning at 7:30 right here, live, to give you a lot of great information, all right? So you guys be blessed. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you Wednesday at 7:30. Bye-bye.